Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those that are new, my name is Sandra and I am an interior designer here in the state of Illinois. Today we are going to be doing a fun collab series with Andrea Tru. You guys may know her from YouTube, but we thought this would be fun for you guys to just see two designers in action, just talking about whatever. And today we're going to be doing 5 fun questions. If you don't know Andrea, here's a little bit background about her. She studied residential at BCIT in Vancouver, which stands for British Columbia Institute of Technology. She obtained her diploma in residential, so she's primarily worked in residential design. One fun fact about her is she plays the piano. We are so happy to have you on here, Andrea. Alright, so we're just gonna jump right into this video, and the first question that I have for you is, what is your most embarrassing client moment?
Oh my god. I mean, there are a few, but I think the most embarrassing would be one time that we weren't ready for a presentation. We were doing this small bathroom renovation, and at the time, everyone was just so busy with other projects in the office, and no one really took the time to work on this bathroom renovation because it was like so tiny, and not that it didn't matter, but there were like bigger projects that were like a little bit more important in the moment. So anyway, we had a client with a meeting to revise the design and everything, and we were not ready for it. We didn't have any renderings, we didn't have like a defined concept. So we were just literally improvising. And we were choosing, like earlier that morning before the meeting started, we were choosing materials and samples and trying to figure things out. And then we put them on our table, and then the clients show up and they were so excited about the project. We were like, no, why? Like, we're not ready for this.
Oh,
and
no.
Yeah, I know. And they were just like so excited to see what we had. And we just had the samples and we were explaining them like, oh, so you can do this material with this on the floor and this tile and this vanity option and things like that. And they just weren't convinced about the design because like in the first place, there was no design. Like they were just looking at the materials. And although we were explaining them, they just couldn't picture how the space would look like. So they didn't approve the design. They were like, I mean, this is nice, but I don't know how this is gonna look like in reality. I need something else. So that was quite embarrassing. And not only it was embarrassing, but it's just not professional, you know?
Yeah.
I think the moral of the story is that if you're not ready for a presentation or a client meeting, it's better to be honest and say that to the client and postpone it rather than having to go through any of these moments.
Oh my gosh, so you guys weren't prepared for the presentation at all and nothing, they were just like sitting there like, what's going on? Oh my gosh, yeah, I can't believe that.
It was really bad.
It
was really bad.
Yeah, I would be like, I hope, just dig a hole for me in the ground and just let me go in there.
Seriously, yeah, no, like, and even after that, we were printing out like our faucet options and everything. We wanted to show them the options, and the girl who went to get the copies, she didn't check everything that was on the sheets, and it was out of scale, so all the faucets and everything were like cut off.
Oh,
and then she brought it to the clients, and then she flipped the papers, and it was like they're like cut off, and it's just so not professional that we were like, okay, I hope this meeting is over.
Yeah, oh my gosh, did they ever come back for another presentation?
Yeah, it was just like at that time, like that meeting was very awkward. Okay. Like, you know, like normally when you're with clients, you're like agreeing on things. Like you're like, oh, so these are the options, and then either they agree or they want to change stuff. But because we didn't have material to work with, they were just so confused. They were like,
I'm sure.
I don't know what to say. Like yes, I believe you can do a great design, but it's not. I'm not seeing it.
They can't visualize it. They can't
exactly.
See it, so oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Well, that is a story. Next up is, what was one of the biggest mistakes you have made on a project?
I guess it was one time when we were working on a penthouse renovation. It was a full penthouse renovation, and Me and another designer, we were both junior designers, we were sent to the job site to take measurements of the penthouse. And it was this beautiful penthouse, the zone, the building, it was just so stunning, you know? So it was a very important project. And we were sent there to take the measurements. When we arrived there, the clients were there in the place, and they told us, okay, you can take measurements, we're gonna be here, and whenever you're done, let us know and we'll just leave all of us together. So we felt a little bit pressured because they were asking us like, oh, how long is it gonna take? Like, are you done? Like, how long do you think? And to be honest, a lot of the times you cannot give them a time. Like, oh, it's gonna take exactly 22 minutes, you know, like you wanna do things right. But we were young and we felt pressured. At the time it was just her and me, and we just started working in the field. So we didn't have any experience. So we kind of felt intimidated. Yeah. But anyway, we decided like, okay, you're gonna measure half of the space, I'm gonna measure half of the space, and it's gonna be fast and we're gonna leave. So she did the living room and the kitchen, and I did the bedrooms and bathrooms. So we were all done like in half an hour, it was all good. We left and we came back to the office, and we realized that no one measured the laundry room. And also there was like a hallway that was coming from the entrance to the laundry room and that was heading to the bedrooms. And I thought she was gonna measure that, and she thought I was gonna do it. Yeah, and we were like, okay, this was a mistake because this is miscommunication. Like, we should have double checked on site that everything was right. And after that, we should have left, but we didn't. We didn't talk to each other. We were like pressured. So anyway, we didn't want to tell the clients that we messed up. And what ended up happening is that we had the keys to this apartment because the painters were going to come in the next couple of days to paint the house. So the whole team agreed, like, we were not going to tell the clients, we're going to have to go back. So we're going to go back, quickly measure that up again, and then we're going to leave like nothing happened. And I was like, okay. And then they told me like, okay, you're going to do it because first of all, you live close by.
Oh my gosh, it's just a new girl.
Second of all, I don't know if because I was the new one or why they sent me. And I was like, man, I cannot do that. And they're like, yeah, you can do this, and it's just gonna be super quick. Anyway, they gave me the keys. I went there, I measured like in 5 seconds the whole thing. And then I left. And I think the second mistake here was that we were very shy to talk to the clients and tell them that we did a mistake. And we should have just been transparent, like listen, this is what happened. We have like these junior designers, they are just learning, instead of just kind of hiding the mistake. Because it, you know, like, you just shouldn't do that. Yeah. But yeah, it happened, but you know, we learned from that experience, and it will never happen again. Yes.
We're just gonna double check everything. From the experience, that's what matters. But oh my gosh, forgetting dimensions, I think that is one of my fears, and it happens to all of us. Yeah. Like, we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't get this dimension. Third question is, if you had to choose one program for the rest of your life, would you choose AutoCAD or SketchUp? This is a tough one. Yeah. I would have to go for AutoCAD. There's a reason for this. Although I love SketchUp with my life. It's just such a fun program to work with. It's very interactive, very visual. You can do a lot of stuff. It's great for visualizing your space. But I've come across times where I need to use AutoCAD because most of the times architects only work with AutoCAD. There are very few architects that actually know how to work with the SketchUp. I don't think it's a program that they teach them while they're in university. So. I don't think so. And if they learn it, either they knew it from before or they learn it on their own. So I think, especially when you're working on collaborative work, like new builds or like
building projects, office renovation that are like in a big building, they're always going to send you the AutoCAD plans, and you kind of have to deal with it. I think like I guess that's how the industry works today, and at least today we have to adapt to how it works.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future it's going to change. People are going to start using Revit, or maybe because with these softwares, like it's always evolving, you know.
Yeah.
And we just kind of have to adapt to it. But for now, I've realized that AutoCAD it's kind of necessary. Although it's not my favorite to work with, I kind of would have to work with it.
And that is a good point, because back when I worked at commercial with designing like restaurants, we would always be in communication with architects, and they would always send us the AutoCAD file. Like that was the only resource that we would be able to get the measurements to the T of what they sent us.
Exactly.
So that's a good point that you made.
Yeah.
Because that's just the world of interior design, AutoCAD.
Yeah.
Okay, so fourth question is, do you think it's necessary to have hand drawing skills as an interior designer? What is your take on that?
I don't think it's necessary, as in if you don't have drawing skills, you will fail as an interior designer. You will not be able to become an interior designer. No. You don't need to have it, this skill. But I do think that it's quite important to explore the side of interior design that relates to hand drawing, sketching, doing things manually, because I've tried them all, and like I've tried like just digital software and then hand drawing and sketching, and I just feel like having this skill makes you connect with this space a little bit more and become more aware of what a 3D space is like and how spaces work. Sometimes when we are just working with softwares, you kind of get stuck because the softwares have like these limitations and constraints, and you cannot like mold things your way. Whereas with a quick sketch, you can just get the rough idea of the design, and then you can perfection it with the softwares. So it's a nice tool to have, especially if for those people that are into it and that enjoy it and that are passionate about it. But I do not think that it's a must-have tool. And also, if you don't like to sketch, like you're not gonna sketch, you know, and because it takes a lot of practice. If you're not into it, if you are rather more into like 3D rendering and like just working with the Sketchup, I mean that's your way, and it doesn't mean that you cannot create great designs without using your hand drawing techniques.
Which I must say, you're really good at 3D sketching, and I see your sketches on Instagram, and they are so good. Check them out, guys.
It's just practice. Practice. I think anyone can do it, but I've probably done it for plus 5 years, and I still need to improve.
That's awesome. Yeah, it just takes practice, like Andrea said. Last but not least, what challenges have you faced in the industry as a Latina interior designer?
Okay, this is interesting. For those of you who don't know, I am originally from Mexico, and I moved to Canada a while back. So I think one of the challenges that I faced in the beginning when I moved here, because I came specifically to study interior design. One of the first challenges that I faced when I was in college was that I was very scared to talk to people because my English was not good, or that's what I thought at least. And I would be so scared to mess up in my vocabulary or my grammar, or just get stuck. So because of that, I didn't make a bunch of friends while I was in school. Most of my friends were international students. So this kind of kept me from networking at a very early stage. And then when I started working, I started to realize that being someone who comes from like an immigrant, like a Latin culture, we don't have this network of people that could have come from our parents, because our parents came to this country, like US and Canada in our case, in a very late stage of their lives. So they don't have the connection. So hence we don't have the connection either. So we have to, like, if, for example, you've built your own business, we kind of have to, like, I'm imagining, because you're also Latina, right?
Yeah.
So I am imagining that you and me, for example, and all the other designers who are in the same situation, we have to build our network from scratch. Like, you have to approach people and offer them your services, and you have to be really good at communicating your ideas. And I'm not saying that people that are American or Canadian or anyone who is in the country where you arrive, I'm not saying they don't have any type of challenge. I feel like everyone has their own challenges. But one of the challenges of immigrant people is that you don't have the network. Like, you just come to a new country and you have to build your own connections, and that can be pretty tough.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you on that. It's how we were brought into this country, how we were raised, and the people that we know. It's always about the people you know, and you know, our ancestors, our parents, they're immigrants, so they had to build a whole entire new life here and just worked really hard to get to the level, whereas other people that were born in the US probably already had like a level step up. Yeah.
But everything's possible, and I mean, there's so many people that are coming from other countries, and everyone, you can succeed. Like, anyone can succeed. You know, it's just your mind can get you anywhere.
That's what we're saying. We're not saying that like trying to bring in some, like, I don't know, some negativity. It's just that everybody has a different path, everyone has different experiences, and it's up to you to determine how successful you want to be. And everything is possible. Si se puede. Todo.
Yeah, todo. Definitely agree with that.
Okay, well, that is the end of this collab series. Let me know what you guys want to see us talk about next, whether that is a topic, a conversation. If you want to see my portion of the video, check out it on her channel. I'll have it linked down in the description below. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.